Let's move on to football. This time, college football. Harrison, you will go first since you are a native of North Carolina. What were your thoughts on Bill Belichick's debut?
Overrated.
You want the solo
Oh,
this time?
oh yes, yeah. Overrated. Man, I was, bro. Talk about bring the bell and just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. That defense was awful. I forgot the quarterback's name from the UNC. Lopez was freaking awful. I mean that Bill Belichick. What were you doing, man? Why did you want to went to UNC to try to help a program around? Because you thought this was supposed to be the NFL. This is not the NFL. This is college football. But man, I was just like having this. Look at my white teeth. It was just like smiling to ear to ear, just watching TCU, the TCU Horned Frogs, putting the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. They treat him like a bad kid or something like that. They just put him a spanking. It was just absolutely ridiculous. But shout out to TCU. They're really a really good team, by the way. It's fun to watch, and also that running back, by the way, I forgot his name, but yeah, he was a really fun dude to watch. But watching UNC struggle, it felt so good. It's just a smile on my face. This is like a smile that you can't go away. And I'm just so grateful to see UNC struggle in week 1 of college football. But college football's back, man. College football's back.
It sure is. And speaking of Gio Lopez, the quarterback from North Carolina, I'm watching the box score. He finished that game 4 of 10 with 69 yards, an interception. That was a pick six. And he had a QBR 1.9. So that's bad. As Champ always says, uglier than a masterpiece sneaker. Now, BRF, I'm gonna let you go third. Let you go. What were your thoughts on North Carolina?
Whoo! I mean, hey, this is game 1 of year 1. So a lot of these players that are here are from the last regime. So I wasn't expecting them to go out like that. Because I mean, that first drive was amazing. Like, took it down the field, scored a touchdown. I mean, did their thing, controlled the tempo. I mean, just went great. And then all of a sudden, TCU just went off for like the next, just went off for basically the rest of the game. It's one game though. I mean, like, part of me wasn't really expecting too much out of year 1 Bill Belichick in Chapel Hill. I wasn't expecting that much, but that first game wasn't. I don't know. It's kind of hard to really kind of gauge what they're going to be after that first game because you never know. But yeah, that was definitely not a good showing. That was definitely not a good showing for them in week 1. The defense was getting gashed left and right, and we also got to remember about TCU. This is the same university that Colorado went in and smashed.
Debut. Yeah, I'm glad you
Yeah,
mentioned that.
this is the same TCU that Colorado went in and smashed week 1, like with Dion debuting and Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders. And then people gave Colorado all types of crap because, oh man, this isn't the same TCU that was in the national championship and da 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 da. Bro, this ain't the same TCU that played them then. And they just put a 40 burger on UNC in their building. In their building. I was expecting a
Stars.
little more. Yeah,
Stars
I was
was there.
expecting. I was
Michael
expecting
Jordan
a
was
little
there.
more.
Mia Hamm was
Yeah,
there. Randy Moss was
Roy,
there. Pat
Roy,
McAfee was
Roy
there. Nick
Williams,
Saban.
Was
Mike
there.
Williams.
Like the stars were out for
P.D.
this because of Bill
Pablo.
Belichick,
Even Randy
bro.
Moss was
The,
there.
Yeah, Randy Moss
yeah,
was there. P.D. Pablo was there.
I
the
can't. No,
the
it was just sad. It was just
the
so
the
sad.
stars. Bill Belichick brought the stars out for this game.
Bro.
Good. I mean, they should have just walked out, got in their cars, and head the hell back home after the second quarter. That game was over. That game was over. That was almost as bad as CD. I mean, hey, look, CD Lamb had a great first half against Philly, but that second half, CD Lamb almost reminded me of Chris Elliott's character in Scary Movie 2 with the little hands, but he ain't had no hands in the second half. Like, you can't say you want to play with your good hand because you ain't had neither good hand. So I mean, like that was whew. I mean, do I think UNC will improve as the season progresses? I do think they will improve. I don't know if they're going to be bowl eligible. I mean, Gio Lopez was horrible. And they don't have the makings of a bowl eligible team. But let me tell you something. We've seen bad teams go 6-6 and become bowl eligible. So you just never know what they'll do. But that was a horrible first impression for the UNC Tar Heels in that game. That was horrible.
Can I say one thing? Can I just
go ahead, Harrison?
I lost my train of thought here, man. I feel like I could be wrong here. I might be a dumb head for saying this. Is it maybe because the whole girlfriend situation? Maybe the 24-year-old chick. Maybe could that be the issue? Because she's controlling the UNC football team a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe like what in PSP, like you said a couple months ago, is it Viagra not hitting you? Like what's going on with
Oh God! I'm doing.
You know what's crazy after that? His girlfriend was actually on the damn sideline.
I did say that.
No.
I did say that.
No.
For you, bro.
Oh no.
I guess hey, listen, Viagra ain't working out for you. Try to do a different technique, because right now I want this relationship to be gone. She is a gold digger. A gold digger.
Oh, Harrison.
Oh God. Oh, I was not expecting that word to come out on the park. I was not expecting that V word to come out. Oh my, how about that? God, about that. Lord have mercy.
So we're gonna start calling Bill Belichick Uncle Elroy, right?
I'm sorry, BSP. I'm sorry.
BSP.
I'm not trying to do this. I just want to laugh. I just want to laugh and be happy, man.
Clip this.
You know, why are you asking me a rhetorical question? You know good and damn well I'm gonna clip this shit. So
no, I'm talking about that. Okay, should we just start calling? Should we just start calling Bill Belichick
YouTube remix it? Just do it all.
Here's the thing. She's in for the money, but not the fame. Mic drop. That's what I think.
The champ. Is there anything you want to add regarding the game?
Like I said, we just need to start calling Bill Belichick Uncle Elroy. I guess I don't know, but I don't know. Look. Let's keep it serious. Let me go back to serious, champ, for a second. Put my serious mask back on. You know.
Thank you.
You know.
Okay.
Serious champ. All right, look. There's been a lot of legendary coaches that have had bad first years. Nick Saban had a bad first year. Lou Holtz had a bad first year. It's not your team as of yet. You haven't gotten these guys up to speed. Jim Harbaugh had a bad first year. There's been a lot of legendary coaches. They ain't got their claws in the program as of yet. Remember, that first year in Alabama was a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
The first year when Lou Holtz had Notre Dame was a disaster. It was a lot of disaster when it comes to legendary head coaches taking over preeminent programs. So especially when they're left in shambles. Remember when Lou Holtz went to Notre Dame. Remember the Jerry Faust debacle had just ended. So, one of the best high school coaches in America went to Notre Dame, didn't pan out too well. And Lou Holtz came into that program and cleaned it up. But like I said, it takes time. He doesn't have his claws in that program like he did the New England Patriots. He doesn't have his claws in that program yet like he did the Cleveland Browns, even when he coached them. And so, hey, you got to give it some time. I think, look, we're overreacting because it's Bill Belichick. We expect every game to be like a Super Bowl for him. And we would expect the same thing, just like we expect the same thing with Nick Saban. If he was still coaching, he's expected to win. But you have to give it time. This is week 1. This is my first year. I don't really have my claws into that program as of yet. And people love bringing up the Deion Sanders versus TCU. Yes, but the thing is this. A lot of that team, they migrated from Jackson, Mississippi to Colorado. The heart of that team was from Jackson State. That being the quarterback and stuff. They knew the offense. They knew each other. They had chemistry with each other. Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders had a lot of chemistry with each other. So they were able to come out and get a big victory in week 1. But Bill Belichick, he'll be fine. Like I said, there's been a lot of legendary coaches who had a bad first year. Hell, Howard Snellenberger from the University of Miami, the man who started it all for the University of Miami. He won only 5 games that first year. And he's a legend down there in Miami. God rest his soul. So when you think about legendary coaches and how long it took them to get their claws into a program, it took at least 2 to 3 years. By year 3, they were good. They had their claws into the program. I think it's a lot of overreaction because we expected Bill Belichick to come in like Nick Saban, and granted, he did. Remember, Nick Saban in his first year lost to Louisiana Monroe. Everybody remember that? So let's pump the brakes on everything. I know we like to joke and what have you, but it's Bill Belichick. If he doesn't know how to do anything, he knows how to coach. Now, as far as we like to crack jokes about, his girl or whatever, but look, put it into perspective, man. We've seen a lot of coaches with pretty wives. If you don't believe that, just ask Steve Sarkisian. So Steve Sarkisian, no disrespect, has a very, very attractive wife. So let's stop blowing that him having I understand she's younger, but there's a lot of coaches with attractive wives, attractive girlfriends and stuff like that. I just think because it's Bill Belichick, he's a higher profile coach than probably anybody in the league right about now. A lot of things are being said that it's just like, I think drama and TMZ drama and tabloids is leaking over into sports, and there's no easier target than Bill Belichick at this point because, especially with a lot of the stuff that's going on in the news as of lately when it comes to dating younger. We had to talk about that last week, but yeah, let's leave it alone. Look, whether she, whatever becomes of this at the end of the day, it's about winning them football games. It's about winning football games. And Bill Belichick, being the coach that he is, he's going to find a way to win football games. And look, thankfully, the ACC is not that deep at this point. The only teams you got to worry about right now, I do emphasize right now, is Clemson and Florida State and Miami. So you don't have a lot of teams like a Big Ten or an SEC where you got to worry about a plethora of teams every single darn week. So put it into perspective, Howard Snellenberger, Lou Holtz, and Nick Saban. All 3 legends in college football. Without Howard Snellenberger, there would be no University of Miami. Without Lou Holtz, Notre Dame, after the Jerry Faust mistake, goes downhill, never to be heard from again. Without Nick Saban, Alabama is still in obscurity. As you see right now, they're not feared as much as they were now that they don't have them anymore. All three of those absolute legendary coaches had bad years, bad first games. They ain't got their claws into the program as of yet. Once Bill Belichick gets his claws into the program and have a distraction-free environment, you can rest assured this team will be where it needs to be.
Oh my God.
What?
AJ Lee is back, bro. Oh.
Mm-hmm. But
I am
Champ,
watching SmackDown. AJ Lee is back, bro. Oh God.
But Champ, here's the thing. Although I can understand from your standpoint, look, this isn't the first time we've seen coaches in their first year that have struggled. To your point with Nick Saban, Lou Holtz, and the other head coach. But here's the thing. Yes. But here's the thing, Champ. It's not that they lost that's the problem. How you lost, though. And it was against a team, to BRF's point, in TCU, in which Colorado went to TCU and beat them.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is with Bill Belichick, and I've said it before, Champ, I understand what he accomplished as a 6-time Super Bowl champion head coach, even though people still get on him to this day for Spygate, Deflategate. But he is now Bill Belichick, the head coach for the North Carolina Tar Heels. So I'm going to judge him based on what he has done in North Carolina anymore, because he's going to have to do his part to help out that program to try to recruit. It's just one game. But it was embarrassing to see how the way the team performed because, again, there were a lot of celebrities in attendance. Michael Jordan, Mia Hamm, Roy Williams, Randy Moss was there. Pat McAfee was there. Nick Saban was there. At least you would have put up a decent or good enough performance, and they got blown out. In the first drive, you couldn't ask for a better first drive, Champ. The way Gio Lopez threw the ball, how they were able to score the touchdown, but their defense overall, I saw a lot of missed tackles in that game from North Carolina. And if you look at the box score, first downs, TCU 29, North Carolina 10. Third down efficiency, TCU 7-12, North Carolina 1 of 10. TCU had 542 total yards. North Carolina, 222. Time of possession, TCU 32 minutes to 9 seconds. North Carolina, 27 minutes to 51 seconds. And with rushing yards, Bill Belichick gave up 258 yards rushing. Granted, it is the first game, but still, I would have expected at least a better performance than that. Now,
Go ahead.
it's still going to. No, go ahead. No, go ahead if you want to.
It's easy to say that, but like I stated, you remember, like I stated, Nick Saban lost to Louisiana Monroe his first year. They barely won 5 games. They barely screwed out. Like I said, Nick Saban won his first game against a division whatever team, 52-7. Like I stated, Lou Holtz lost his first game. Yes, it's embarrassing. Yes, it's a lot of white hype coming into this game. But like I stated earlier, one game, you don't have a lot of these guys are transfers. You don't have your teeth into the program as of yet. You're still working the kinks out of the playbook at this point. So, yes, it's embarrassing. Yes, it's Bill Belichick. But New England took time. Cleveland took time.
But that's my point, Champ.
Yeah.
But that's my point, Champ. Sorry to cut you off. I'm not saying, look, it's over for Belichick. We still got to give him some time. One game is not an indication that he's going to have a struggling career in North Carolina.
Yeah.
We have to give him the benefit of the doubt. There's still more evidence we need to see. However, I would like to see a better performance. That's my whole thing. I still believe there's hope for Belichick, though.
I believe there's hope. Like I stated, when legendary coaches come into programs, it takes them a minute to get their claws into the program and turn it into the program in their image. And Bill Belichick is a very, very detailed guy. Once you put the Bill Belichick touch to that program, I believe it's going to be fine. And the only thing that I'm really concerned about with is a lot of unnecessary attention that his relationship is getting him at this point. That's the only thing that I'm concerned with, because after a while it becomes a distraction, and Belichick always teaches about be disciplined, do your job, and don't be a distraction. I think that if he doesn't do anything, or his team, as far as PR is concerned, doesn't get that under control, it's going to very well turn into the distraction of epical proportion, especially if there's a big-time scandal that goes along with that. And when you're in college football, news travels fast, although you're in small media markets. Chapel Hill, that's all they got to cover up there is Chapel Hill. So if I'm Bill Belichick, I'm making sure that I run a tight ship up there and making sure that everything is where it needs to be, just like in New England, just like in Cleveland. But he'll get there. I mean, Bill Belichick is the great, has 6 rings for a reason. Well, he has 8 rings for a reason. Had the best game plan in Super Bowl history for a reason. Been coaching in this game since Johnny Unitas with Ted Marshall-Broda. The miracle on 31st Street when Burt Jones won the MVP. He's been coaching in this game a long, long time. So if anybody knows what to do, it's Bill Belichick. The only concern that I have is his relationship, and if it becomes a distraction to this team and more of a focal point to the team for the media than the team itself, that's when it becomes a problem.
But at the same time, Champ, that's also on him, because he should have known the risks, the circumstances, the criticism, the backlash that he would get. No, I'm being serious, Champ. No, I'm being serious.
You're right. You're right.
Because you always say, hey, you got to practice what you preach. DYJ, I'm sorry, do your job. He talks about players not being distracted and stuff. Well, how are they not going to be distracted with you, with your current girlfriend? And North Carolina, they brought him in. So they knew the risks, the circumstances. They knew the backlash it would go along with it. So as you always say, Champ, practice what you preach.
Yes, indeed. Belichick, that's the only thing that I feel like that will become a distraction. But first year, media, not with us, we understand. But the media, it's an overreaction. We saw this happen every single time Bill Belichick ever went to a program. And what's so funny about that, whenever his assistants went to a program, whether that be Charlie Weiss, whether that be Romeo Crennel, or anybody else, even Nick Saban had a bad year his first year. So when you look at the leader on down, all of them have had bad years their first year. By year 2 or 3, they was all right. So